Hey, everybody. Uh, Up this morning giving you a new insight uh, for the real estate venture we're in right now. Uh, Lesson number three. Hopefully, you'll take away from this something that's going to help you. So, it's been over a month, and we finally got um our money back. Uh, Not the money we hoped to get back, but well, technically the money we hoped to get back, but we finally got back uh, a deposit we made. So the way it works at the tax sale is you're going to come either with cash or with cashier's checks. And when you bid and you get a property, you go up and you pay for it right then. It's not the next day or later, whatever. You don't have time to go to the bank and then come back. You have to have the money right then. So if you are expecting to spend thousands of dollars, you probably won't have that in cash on you unless you got a pretty big posse standing around you just to make sure you guys manage your money well. Most people have cashier's checks, and they offer to you, though, if you do bring a lot of cash, they offer to you just to bring the cash up there and deposit it with them. If you deposit it with them, then they just deduct whatever your successful bid is. If you do cashier's check, whatever the overage is on that check becomes deposited. So let's say the property you bid for was $10,000, but your cashier's check is $15,000. They're going to keep $5,000 then on reserve in deposit. You don't get that back right then. You have to wait for them to send it to you. And they make it sound like you're going to get this money back probably in the next week or two, because they say right away after the sale, they begin processing refunds. However, it's been over a month, and I made a phone call saying, hey, we have a lot of money deposited with you guys, and we haven't seen a check yet. And I'm calling because I want to make sure I haven't missed this check in the mail. This is very important. Please give me a call back. So I didn't get a call back. About a week later, I said, well, I probably need to make this call again. Maybe some people would have felt like, oh, I'm going to make the call every day. But I gave them a week. And the next week, I didn't make the call because just got caught up in regular things going on. And then the check came at the end of that week. So I was glad about that. And that may be why I didn't get the call back, because they had probably had plenty of people calling them saying, hey, where's my money? But they know they're putting it in the mail shortly, and we should be getting it soon. Soon was 2 weeks, but still, it came. So it says refund bidder number 196, deposit of excess 2021 sale, $21,900. Now you might be thinking, dang, $21,900. That's not really a lot. I'm trying to get to the point where we're talking $1 million is an easy number for me to manage and deal with. This is small beans. And what was important, though, is that these small beans be put back onto a loan. We're not wealthy to the point where we just got $21,000 to sit out there. We don't even have the money per se to fix up these properties right now. What we did was we mortgaged our house. So it is important that that money come back so that I can put it back on the loan. It's a revolving loan. And I want to put it back on there because all the time they're holding my money, I'm paying interest on that money. Time with money is costing. Okay, so you that's a lesson to learn right there, is that money in your hand is always worth more than the money just sitting somewhere, right? So money that you're able to work with and do something with is worth more than it's just sitting somewhere. So like the money that was in this house just sitting, we were able to take that out, and now it was in our hand. We were able to do something with it. Okay, now we're putting it back. because I don't want to pay the interest on it for nothing. It's not doing anything for us. So with this, it was a little stressful waiting on this money because I didn't know if it had come in the mail and I missed it, or which would make a lot worse situation. It'll take longer to get it. But I also didn't know how long they were going to take to give it to me. The payment was like $800 for all the money we've taken out. And that, putting this back reduced that by $300. So that was pretty cool. And I'm sharing these numbers with you because some people don't reach as high as they can because they don't know they can. And I want to share with you these numbers because while it may seem like a high reach, we're trying to reach way. This is pennies. This is beans. We're trying to reach way further than this because there's a bigger mission in mind. If we're going to lay the foundation for our children and children's children and their children, then the foundation needs to be very solid. It needs to be wide and broad enough for everybody to walk on it, to live on it, to survive on it. And where we reach to is setting the goal and setting the bar for where they will reach to. If we only reach for pennies, then they will only maybe reach for a few dollars. But if we reach in the thousands and then make it to the millions, they'll reach beyond the millions. Okay. So the biggest lesson today, if you read the comments, I mentioned about stressors. The biggest lesson today is that we haven't really even gotten into the stressors, the big stressors that can present themselves in the real estate deal, buying the real estate, trying to fix it up, trying to sell it, having a lot of money into it, getting close to that deadline where you need that money out. We've hit some stressors, trust me. Buying property for thousands of dollars that there is no property there, that's a big stressor. But we are understanding that there's even some greater stressors than that. So today, what I want to share is the level we've hit with stressors, in that your life doesn't go on hold. It's important to know. It's important to count the cost of what you're going to be facing, because when you go into a business venture, a financial venture, whether it's real estate or something else, you must count up the cost and get a full idea of and grasp of what you're going to be facing if you expect to make it through the journey, because the surprise stressors are what will knock you out of the game. Okay. So for us right now, we're having real life stressors, other life stressors, and we're having to, we're at a crossroad of having to make some decisions in our life with these stressors, and it can change the direction of our complete life goal. So it's a place where we have to keep in mind, what is it we want to occur? What, you have this property you've bought, it isn't like you can just quit on it because you've bought it. You've got to go to the hearing. You've got to find out whether they're going to give you your money back or you're all in for this money. How are you going to get this money back out of this property? You're in that game, or we're in that game, right? But I'm presenting this to you so that when you get in it, you understand you're in that game. And on the other side here, we have stressors that are affecting our life, in which we have to make some decisions that unilaterally, even though these are two different things, one side is going to affect the other side and vice versa. But how are we going to allow it to affect the other side? And I'm being a little bit vague in our life stressors area, because I'm not trying to throw anybody under the bus, right, with a situation. But I want to tell you that your life stressors don't stop because you're dealing with the other stressors of the business venture. And you've got to remember that. Even the stressors that aren't there, the surprise stressors are the things that can knock you out. So you could think job is going well, family's going well, money, income is coming in at a good rate. I can do this venture. But the surprise stressors is that what happens when your job is knocked out of pocket? What happens when your paycheck is now, money is funny? What happens when your family, your kids are acting up, or, your teenage kids, or even you got adult kids? Now you got to, fix a situation, or you just got to be involved. What happens when your health begins to fail and get shaky in an area, or you get a bad report, something that you have to deal with there? How is it going to, these are things that can affect life down the road. And then at the same time, you're going to have one culminating when your real estate deal is culminating, or your business financial deal is culminating. This never stops. In other words, what I'm saying is this is going to be an ongoing affair with your business venture, with your business life. Your real life is going to run parallel to your business life. You have to learn how to manage them both, even when you're facing really big, hard decisions like we are right now. And you've just got to, this is what I know I've got to do. I've got to worship. I've got to come to God with all that I have and praise him for everything. Am I praising him for the troubles I'm facing right now, the stress I'm facing? No, I'm not praising him because I have that stress. I'm praising him because he's still with me when I'm going through the stress. I praise him because my family is all waking up right now this morning. We're all in good health. I'm praising him because we have a roof over our head, and we have reasonable amount of resources to do the things we need to do. And so when I get off of here, in case you didn't know, I'm praising him already. I'm naming those things that I'm so thankful for, and I give him praise for. But when I get off from here, I'm going to definitely just have my session with God this morning. So getting back to business wise with this refund that came, so that you understand how this works, because the goal is to prepare you for how all this works, right? So you understand how this works. This is now going to be looked at by the government as income. It was our money to begin with. It wasn't money we actually had. We took it out from the house, right? But once we gave it to them, it was an expenditure. Even though the whole amount didn't actually buy a property, we paid them this money. So now when we do taxes for business, whether you are in a business that is a LLC or limited liability corporation, or you have set up your business just to be a self proprietorship, a sole proprietorship. And mind you, the government does allow, IRS for tax purposes does allow a husband and a wife to operate as a sole proprietorship together, even though sole proprietorship means one person. So you can't do it with your brother or sister or something like that, or your friend, but you can with your spouse as one. They will get, the IRS is going to get a notice, and you'll get a 1099 from the county that you bought the property from that was holding the money. You're going to get a 1099 for the money that they gave you. And basically that 1099 is saying, hey, we paid you $21,900. You know, well, okay. So that's what it's going to say. And so then you have to turn that in with your taxes to the IRS and say, this is income, $21,900. So how do you make that money non-taxable? Because truly it is not income, right? What you do is you have to count the whole expenditure. Even though you did not buy property with it, if you gave them more, you gave them a whole cashier's check that was, say your cashier's check was $40,000. You spent some of it on a property, they kept the rest, and the balance is the $21,900, right? You're going to have an expenditure, not just for what you spent on that property. The whole expenditure is the $40,000 check that you gave them. So this is your expense line on your taxes, and your income line is going to be that 1099 for $21,900. So hopefully you're taking notes. You're going to keep this information, and hopefully that even helps you with whatever business venture you're going into, in how to apply the expenditures and income to your real estate taxes. Hope this helped you guys out. It's about time for me to get logged in for work. So I got to get my praise and worship in and then get logged in for work. Talk to you guys later when it comes to lesson number 4. Don't know when that video will be, but it's coming. Talk to you later. Bye.